Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
Welcome to another week of The Village, right? Where we're dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us in realizing our dreams at any age, any point, starting from today. Success is not just spoken, it is done. So what are you doing to make sure that you are successful? Welcome, folks. As you can see.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What's good? What's happening? All right, how we doing?
You tell me what's happening.
Where's our fearless leader?
We all blank. He won't be.
Where our fearless leader is, you know what? I told him to take a break today, man. I put him in detention, you know.
Yeah. Roderick, we send in love, whatever, wherever you're at, hopefully resting.
He's probably on a vacation again.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he's feeling too well. So, our listeners, send him some love throughout this evening and well wishes. So,
you know him. He might just pop in here and there. So who knows? Just be prepared. All right.
He's on vacation.
Right.
You think he's on vacation? I think he's not.
Or playing dominoes, right? Not a vacation, right? Be playing dominoes is not vacation. So remember that.
Right. Hey, our listeners, thank you for joining us this evening. We have so much to share with you and so much to discuss. And this is a great evening for you to actually participate with us and share your thoughts. So that's so important. So important. How are you guys loving this wonderful 90-degree weather? I'm loving it.
It's blazing.
Blazing,
but it's good. But it's good though. It's good.
Yeah,
I wonder, would you love it if you didn't have air conditioning?
Well, I love it. I was in the pool. I had AC all day. Just came out the pool, got ready, and I'm back. So
some of us don't have a pool. Some of us have bathtubs. That's it.
Okay, where you went to the pool, Joanne?
In my bag.
Or in your backyard?
Check it out, y'all. In her backyard.
Oh man.
In my bag. Anyway.
Man. So what's happening, man? What's going on? What's
Yo, you know what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is that whole Hunter Biden situation. What also is happening is Giuliani admitted that he lied about those 2 black women
Mm.
in Georgia.
There's
You
one
know,
more.
yeah.
There's one more. Tonight, actually today, Trump got another charge filed against him for deleting the videos about the whole case, Mar-a-Lago. So he got charged with that.
I didn't hear anything. He got indicted, or he did get another charge. What's due?
Another charge. Another charge.
Hey
So
man,
what's
you know
gonna
what?
happen?
This whole, you know what? I guess maybe it may work in Biden's favor, may not work. But the more charges that they level against Trump, the stronger his base gets. And right now he is 20 or 30 point lead in the primary.
Right.
Will he show up for the debates next month?
He
Who the
won't.
hell knows?
He
I
said he's
don't
not
know.
interested.
Who the
And
hell knows if he shows
he
up or
doesn't
not?
have to because he's in the lead.
So
And
the
Ron DeSantis, I, you know, I'd rather have Donald Trump than Ron DeSantis.
I agree with
Ron
you.
DeSantis is a
I agree with you.
scary individual because
I agree.
he is his campaign is surely based upon pitting cultures and ethnicities
Mhm.
against one another. That
Yep.
whole issue with those black scholars who come up with some curriculum saying that there was a benefit, some slaves benefited from slavery.
oh
Are
yeah.
you kidding? They had no choice. Just like saying some Jews benefited from the Holocaust. Give me a
Right.
break.
Exactly.
So you coming back down to the claim better of two evils. Is that what you're saying? It might come
Yeah.
back to.
Yeah. I rather Trump. At least you know what you have. The other one, both of them are evil. Period. Point blank.
That's what I'm saying. The better
Both
of two
are
evils. Isn't that,
racist.
isn't that terrible though, man?
Both of them are racist. Both of them are evil. But one, racism, he's trying to be more extreme than Trump to say they should vote for him. He's trying to prove a point more than anything.
He's trying to prove that I'm more white he's trying to tell Donald Trump I'm more white than you are.
What's up,
So,
Sophia? What's up, Narcos?
hello, thank you for logging in.
Who's
That's exactly it. And the thing is, you're destroying children's lives, their knowledge. And you know what? Who's a coward is those companies that's changing the books to agree with this man. It's pitiful.
But
The
Doc, I have no problem for open dialogue and debate regarding these issues. Before, the whole issue with the book controversy, Black History, then you get a group of people, you get scholars together, and let's talk about this so it can make it more refined and better, more open. One thing, I think Governor DeSantis, he's very closed-minded.
very much so.
One thing I can say about former President Trump, he was more open-minded. If you come to him and you talk to him about his, he was a lot more open-minded. He would look at to try to see both sides of the coin and try to work something out. Although his policies he had to, but if you came to him and expressed and you could dialogue and you can, to a certain extent, you can probably work something out.
with
But
Trump?
Ron DeSantis, yeah, Trump.
Hmm.
And I talk about the way they work with Trump on that First Step Act that benefited a lot of people who were incarcerated. And
Hmm.
even I got to give credit where credit's due. Even his economic policies were pretty good.
Oh,
Like,
you're
like which,
seeing that?
like
Not
which ones? Like which ones, John?
First of all, when it came to the taxes, I saw more money coming home than I see now.
Hmm.
And if you look at it, everybody look at your paychecks. Our biggest problem with people don't like Democrats or Republicans is
Mhm.
because, if something is right, we say it's right. When it's wrong, we say it's wrong. We
Mhm.
just don't follow the company line all the time. And a lot of Democrats, they want to follow the company line. Republicans, they want to follow. That's why a lot of people want to choose to be independent.
Mhm.
Let me look at the facts and let me see what's going on. Let me make up my mind. Let me vote based upon the policies instead of the party. Because
Considering
parties, the parties are full of shit. And Donald Trump did make a
language.
point. Oh, I'm sorry, but former President Trump did make a point. If you look at a lot of unrest in these urban areas, the majority of the elected officials or the majority of city and local governments were controlled by Democrats.
Mm.
Look at Chicago. I mean, you got to call a spade a spade.
I definitely have
That's what.
I definitely have I've read and heard about that claim itself, and considering something that you just mentioned regarding more taxes coming home as a result of policies Trump put in, um, would you say that Democrats are more about social equity and Republicans about economic policy?
No, I would say that Democrats are more about equality.
Right, social equity. That's what I was looking for.
You know what? Equality, it could be equality socially, it could be equality economically.
Okay.
They're more about having a level playing field where people can thrive. The
Mhm.
Republicans, they are more, you know, uh, they are more free market. They are more, you know, government step back, let the people take over and do what they need to do. But at the same time, they do when situations when there are situations that are economic situations that go on the downturn or, or can have an impact on the economy, the Republicans are the first ones to look for bailouts. No,
Mm,
don't talk about the Democrats, but Republicans who are business owners, they always look to the government for a bailout.
right.
And that's another form of welfare.
Wait, repeat what you just said again. Republicans always look.
The Republicans will
Free market.
Republicans are they believe in the free market. However, when there is an economic downturn, they look for the government to buttress, to provide support in those economically um in those situations where there's an economic downturn. At that point in time, they look for bailouts.
So what I'm understanding, you're saying pretty much they are they're like let me be, but then no, they want to be like everybody else when things go bad and
When
ask government
things
for
where you
help.
know what the point is, when things go bad, I want to be like everybody. I want to get on the social welfare, the economic
Right.
welfare too. When things go bad, when things are going good, government step back, leave us, let us do what we need to do. But when things go bad, I'm going to need a helping hand from the government,
Should would shouldn't
and
that
it's called
be
bailouts. It's called bailouts.
shouldn't I'm thinking of this, but should that be what government does though? Like in a sense, there's some sense of like, um, I'll help you when you need, but I want y'all to be able to
Do
lead
it on your
yourself.
own.
Like, shouldn't government allow encourage that to happen? Like, you
I
know?
I would say that's what government is there to help you out in the time of need.
Mm,
Otherwise than that, government is basically to try to create a stable environment that people can a stable environment, both socially and economically balanced, where
mm,
everybody can have an opportunity to be successful. Those who are not and those who need help, government needs to help them along the way to provide them the guidance that they need to be successful once again. So don't we're not dependent upon government, but government is there to buttress us in times of need. And how do we do that? We pay our taxes, you know, uh, those things, they help to generate revenue. So when the time gets tough, government is there to bail us out, to give us a helping hand, right? To be the segue into prosperity once again. But up until that point, government is there to just to honestly, it's like to watch over us,
Mhm.
to make sure that there's a balance. There's a balance among people. People are given opportunities. People are given every single opportunity to thrive. That's what government is there for,
Yeah,
and to
that's what
correct.
it's supposed to
That's what
do.
it's supposed to.
It's not happening.
It
It's not.
doesn't happen. It doesn't happen
Wow.
because a lot of times we allow our political viewpoints
Hmm.
to divert us from what is the core of government, to establish rules and regulations, to create a balanced playing field for all.
You can't do it without the people, right? For the people, by the people, of the people.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, we don't have people who are in government with that mindset and that mind view. It's more about me, my own. And then, hey, you're going to pay. It's like, hey, a tit for tat. Like, okay, you didn't suffer as much as I did. So
Mhm.
you need to pay back for what
It's
I did. Yeah. Like,
it's
you don't understand it.
it's similar to what you were highlighting in our meeting earlier this week, wherein they once a candidate who's running for office, once they get into office, there's a sense of disappointment felt because you work so hard to get in, and then once you get in, you're shocked at possibly the team that you have. um you're shocked at the team you have. You're shocked at possibly how much work that you may have to put in, or
Hmm.
what things you need. And I would say, to even kind of side note, when I entered into the education field, and they always say this with educators: when you're new to the field, your first year, you think you're gonna save everybody, and then, like, after that first year, and months down the line, you start realizing, wow, this is more difficult than I thought. And those with the resilience keep pushing forward and figure things out. And those who may not have the resilience, maybe they get burnout. Maybe there's a lot of things that they have to do, and they just get frustrated because you entered with a hope that you're gonna be able to make the changes that you've been hoping for, and then you get a team. But those same people who are the team probably went through the same experience, and so it becomes, was it eat or be eaten, something along those lines. So um, it definitely is what I noticed too, right? People go in office, things may change, so how do we how do we not allow, or as John said, political views be diverted, or more so, looking at it from the angle of the village? There's something greater than myself. I want to
Well,
go in. Go ahead.
we Andre, you're right about that. We should always try. There is something greater than ourselves. But we're just a selfish people, and we tend to have an existentialist attitude where it's just like live for today and to hell with everybody else. It's very interesting to see how, like especially in New York, when you go to other states like southern states, the lack of hospitality that is evident in New York City as opposed to when you go down south. There's less of a lack of sense of community. And I think the media has a big role to play in that, because the way they just want to promote everything that's negative
Hmm.
instead of showing the positive attributes of the city, and people are actually extend a helping hand for the benefits of others. They don't want stories. They don't want the good feel good stories because they don't sell papers or ads on the TV. They want the shootings, the triple shootings.
That's
But they
what's
don't want
right.
you don't want to know that two African American brothers just graduated valedictorian and salutatorian of a top high school, or you got a young kid in Florida who scores a perfect black kid in Florida who scores a perfect 1600 on the SATs. You know, but we all know that that's not sexy enough. That doesn't sell. But at the same time, in the community, in the village, they need to know of these things because they, you know, the biggest thing, you know, one thing I could say about President Obama, he talked about, he gave us hope. He gave us hope that our lives will get better. And based upon that, we were willing to give him an opportunity to become the next president of the United States because through him, we envision hope, which leads to faith, which leads to a strong sense of self confidence to just continue to push yourself to grow.
Right. Yeah, I was just looking up this kid, um, the perfect score, Justin Ricketts, 17 years old. I'm trying to find updates, but he was true, got accepted to prestigious colleges, you know, and has had it last year, had his eyes set on going to MIT, Princeton, or Harvard. I'm not sure which one he went to. Um, but he really talked about, you know, doing his best, boosting his academic career and professional career to inspire others and stuff like that. That we definitely want to hear more about those things, really. Right? Like that's the positive things that we gotta really hear. Um,
Well, hmm
he couldn't. I'm pretty sure he couldn't do it alone. You know, had the village support. You know, had people to really kind of build him up and he keep pushing.
So let me ask you a question. Now I'm going to take it back to the negative. What's the difference between Donald Trump's kids being charged and Biden's kid being charged?
Hey, Dr. Brian.
Just said I just want to know.
Hunter Biden getting a sweetheart deal where he pleads to two misdemeanors regarding tax evasions and on a gun charge. When anybody else, if you get a gun charge or you lie on your applications to acquire a gun and in possession of a gun, you are doing jail time with the feds. There's no what diversion problem. You know how many black kids who weren't given the opportunity of a diversion problem, who were in possession of a firearm, who had a substance abuse problem?
Hmm
They are all incarcerated. And you know, the first one's taxes. Wesley Snipes, he went to jail for tax
Yeah.
evasions. You know
But
what I'm saying?
wait. Trump didn't go to jail for tax
He didn't get. Did he get found guilty of any sort of tax evasions? No, he did not.
because he didn't pay no taxes. He, somehow
But did he? But was he charged with paying
you
no
know,
taxes?
but
And
wait,
did he get convicted?
you
Doctor,
know,
hold on,
who-
doctor. Hold
wait,
on.
you know who went to jail? His
Who went to jail?
accountant.
His accountant went to jail because he received a benefit and did not claim it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we may hate Trump but so much, but it is what it is. Hunter Biden got a sweetheart deal. All the Democrats know it.
Mm.
Know it. Everyone knows it. And even the African American ones should even know it, should definitely, you know.
So you're thinking he should go to jail?
Hunter Biden?
Yes.
Jail. I'm not saying that Hunter Biden should go to jail, but don't put it this way.
Consequences.
The way they treat Hunter Biden, you need to treat the next African American kid from Baltimore, New
Mhm.
York, who faced the same situation. Treat me fairly.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm the president's son, I get treated better, which I understand.
Mm-hmm. That is okay. Yeah,
Hypocrisy.
because the thing, during the time someone is in office, they don't want to really charge them with things, or even after with anything. And that's the truth.
It's a definite hypocrisy, really. As John just mentioned, they are about there's a social equality or just equality across the board,
Mm-hmm.
but there's the hypocrisy, right? You know, those in power often, as we've seen, get better benefits and money talks, right? Um, that's something that I see. It's essentially is when you think about what we just said about government should be there to help the people when there's time and need. Um, you know, as I think back on some of the financial videos that I come across or just the conversations that I've had, one of the questions come up is that if you allow them to feed you, right, you allow them to starve you. And so, in the end, should we really be mindful how I say this? Depending on the government solely to provide you your needs is not the way to go. You have to go out there and really educate yourself and figure those things out. Because then you sit there and you wait for whatever it's the check, like oh people were getting those checks in the pandemic, right? The government said,
they're paying back. The
yeah.
ones who lied, they paying back.
Oh yeah, I see a lot of people getting charged for the PPP loans. Some people take out so much, but yeah, like if you sit and wait for that, you're gonna feel it in the end, right? When people talk about things are free in America, really, as years go by, start to think, well, things aren't really so free, right? There might be some catch. You gotta read the fine print, right? What does the fine print say? So always gotta make sure that we're looking into that itself. Gotta read the fine print. Gotta be critical about it. So all right, so definitely something to really consider. What about the Migrant Relief Center? Joan, you had more understanding of that?
So I know that the mayor mentioned. I actually was speaking to someone was it yesterday? Either yesterday or today about the migrants going to Albany. They were complaining that they're just shipping bus loads of migrants to Albany. And I said, New York City is bursting at the seams in regards to the migrants. So I know it was mentioned that they're about to open up another site, 2 new sites. One was open, another hotel was opened up at the airport. There's one at the old Cremor psychiatric place. But one trend, speaking to some of my Queens people, they mentioned that they have 29 hotels full of migrants.
Do you so before you also I guess say your thoughts on it. Is it only Queens that there's so many hotels full of migrants, or have you heard from any Brooklyn peeps, or that's just what you're hearing from right now?
Queens have migrants, but not the same amount as Queens. We have more hotels in Queens than we do in Brooklyn.
Really?
So, yeah. Remember we have 2 airports, and throughout Jamaica and some of the other places, a lot of these places are hotels. So is it even out in regards to where their house? No. You have a lot in Staten Island? I don't think so. Are they more concerned about transportation? But it's mindful that as we place people, I know the mayor's doing the best he can in regards to what he's being given, and it's an unfair thing that no one is helping out in the situation. But we got to even out the playing field.
So why is it? I'm thinking of like where are they going to house the migrants, right? I mean, the hotel to me seems like a valid place rather.
Nobody wants them in their backyard. Everybody does.
Right.
Exactly.
Not in my backyard. Not in my backyard.
Albany,
that's what I'm saying.
Orleans, Nassau County, upstate. Everybody has lawsuit. Westchester. So You know, I gotta give it to the mayor. He was the one who said, "Yeah, you know what, we'll take them."
That's
But I
all.
don't think he anticipated the amount. How well? First of all, I'm gonna say that evil little wrench man in Florida, that governor, that's helping to fly some of the migrants and ship them to New York is not fair. And the other evil one in Texas, just busting them back. You don't do that to people. You don't. But the migrants now are learning that, hey, I was shocked when one said, "Hey, I came here." They gave me a slip to say I can't stay. He said, "I traveled for 4 months to come up here, but I have no place to go. There's no, it's full." What were they thinking?
To travel come over for 4 months.
Months. Yeah,
Trying to find a place. Where are you coming from? Where was he coming from? That one that you were talking to.
it was Venezuela.
Oh, well, I mean, there. The thing is, you come, even if you come to America itself, trying to find a place. I mean, whatever it is that we're doing right now for the migrants, that's one thing that's likely going to be their solution. But it's gonna be a struggle same way. If you just come, you just really trying to look, and um our political leaders are gonna do what they can or what they think is best. So
Hmm.
but going back to the hotel aspect itself, that's to me that's the probably the most valid place. As John said, nobody
But
wants them in their backyard, and I don't think it's to be mean or anything like that. It's just that hey, this is my haven. I don't just want them to just put someone here and that's it. So
that's true. That is true. That is
mm,
true.
But I
um,
think a lot more community needs to be involved.
say that again, John.
I guess I think community just wants to be notified what's going on.
Notification. Yep, that's also beneficial. Didn't they talk about like paying payments to people if you house
Yeah, they haven't implemented that.
they haven't or they won't?
They have not implemented that yet.
Okay, so
So,
it's
do
like
you think that's a safe thing to do? I
I don't
want
know
to,
about that.
because you're stuck with them after a certain amount of time, right?
Correct.
and money talks.
And
So
you don't know who's crazy, who's not. I always say this: you don't know who's who. I'm sorry for using the word crazy, but you don't know who's who. Period.
I mean, you're just protecting yourself. It's not to be offensive or anything of the sort. I think that's something that oh, I think that's something for a lot of people got to understand. Really, I just want to be mindful of who I'm going to be bringing to my house. It's like you go down the road, you're passing judgments all the time. What people are always concerned about is that are you passing a negative judgment or a positive judgment without enough enough data, right? That's really what it is. I wouldn't consider it to be mean or anything like
That's true. In life overall, you don't know people. Even when you live with them, you still don't know them all the
that.
way.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Andre, can you move to the side? I want to see the picture
Oh,
behind. What is that?
well, it was like a um, father son, pretty much. And so the quote. Let me see if I could read it real quick. The young boy will need the adult man, for the man is the introduction to a future similar to what the boy will enter. So it's like a canvas that I draw, just representing fatherhood, right? Just having that sun up there, you know, helping the sun reach to the sky. But it's just like
That's
an
awesome.
idea, you know. So I have a lot of those canvas out. I brought it to the African Fair a couple weeks back.
Hmm.
So for
Hmm.
people who don't know, the African Fair is a yearly festival, right? African International Festival, wherein people come out, they bring the culture, people from all over the world. But I mean, African culture, bring clothing, jewelry, art, books, whatever it is that people have that they want to put on display, showcase, food, and people will come through and really have a good time. It's a festival, happens every July. So around July 4th, probably like 3-4 days,
Okay.
from like about 10 to 9. It's a good, it's a fun time. It's a good time to be out there and just really, learn about the culture, right?
What did you
Engage.
have out there? What did you have out there?
Well, I had my books, I had the canvas. A lady had her some handmade bags. So those really were some of the things that, yeah, we had the gibbets stuff, for the Crocs, all that little fun stuff. So
Okay, Mr.
definitely,
Artist.
definitely something to go to. So if you're out next year and you're interested in
You
everything,
missed a great one. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Empress. Good
Empress.
evening, Janice. Thank you for joining us. You missed the one on Saturday and Sunday. They had one around Brooklyn College. I was expecting to see your artwork.
Oh, just pass this pass.
That just passed. What's going on, my
Uh,
friend?
Probably didn't get to come through, but there's something happening on August 1st on what? I think that's Tuesday.
Actually, yep.
Yeah, I don't remember the event name. Shoot, and the date is tripping me right now. But when I get to it, I'll post it up. But yeah, that's something that happens daily. Um, Let me just run this commercial real quick. Roger go like, run the commercial. So here we go. His domino thing. All right. So you got the Domino Weekend, the World Dominoes Federation, August 11, the Fish Friday with DJ Barry and DJ Chocolate. And you got August 12, the Randoms and Mental Peers. And then you have August 13, you have the Mental Teams. You can win up to $10,000 in prizes. We just talk about money talks, but this is funds and games. So, come through, have a good time. You can contact Rudy, right? Roger F. Daly, 646-504-5778. You got Snipers, 929-413-0433. Tony, 917-823-5274. Don, 203-545-0764. Register now. www.worlddominoes.com, and you can email him at info@worlddominoes.com. The location will be at 1330 Utica Avenue, right here in Brooklyn, New York. All right, so come out and enjoy Domino Weekend with the World Dominoes Federation, WDF. All right, so there's that. John disappear again.
Yeah, his signal is not that great this evening, but hopefully, he join us again.
Wow. All right, well, we'll be looking out. So we got this one. It's a 4-year-old grazed by a bullet while waiting with mom for a lift on Upper West Side. Here we go again with this, man. A 4-year-old. The bullets, man, the guns. It's just like we have to do better. We got to do better, man. Like, this is a constant thing. So it says 27-year-old Jasmine Cullen, whose 4-year-old son was grazed by a stray bullet during a drive-by shooting on the Upper West Side early Wednesday, told cops she was waiting for a lift when she suddenly realized her son bleeding. Gunfire erupted at the intersection of West 94th Street and Amsterdam Avenue, 12:25 a.m., injuring 4-year-old Joshua and 35-year-old Perfecta Reyes. First responders arrived at the scene. They found the toddler suffering from a grazed wound to the calf, rushed him to Whale Cornell Hospital. He's in stable condition. Surveillance from a nearby bodega showed the gunfire coming from a silver sedan, targeting a man in Yankees hat, black sweatpants, who was seen in the area walking his dog. Car traveling north on Amsterdam past West 94. Anyways, regarding that still though, it's just a continuous thing. I continuously see it, right?
But thank God the child is alive. Thank God the other
gotta be
victim
thankful,
is alive.
right?
That's the most important thing, because nowadays what's happening on the streets, people shooting on scooters, people, drive-bys, and just blatant disrespect for people's lives. Thank God for that. So
I remember we had a show months back, right? And the conversation was centered around that itself, wherein now people back, years back, people would be considered of consider of when they go out and try to settle their score, right? Or where they go and do it. Now it don't even matter. It could be daylight. It could be right at this venue. It don't even matter. It's just like come out and just settle the score whenever and however, right? So it's just like, what is it that what is it gonna take, right, for something like this to change? I see people go there, the protests and the gun violence, talk about policies being put in place, all those things, and it's still a continuous, man. Like, what do you think, John? What do y'all think?
Until it impacts these politicians' direct family, then they'll start to advocate to the gun makers about changing some of the laws. Until it impacts them directly, then they will be able to say, okay, we need to do something about it. But otherwise, it's about money.
It's crazy, man. It's insane. And here we're talking about money, same way. Money talks, money continues to really push forward certain things. It's like, but people like us, we don't really have money to necessarily stop these things. I mean, what they say, we gotta use our voices. We gotta come out and do vote, right? Every year, it's something like this. It's repeated, right? It's sad to say that until it affects the politicians, them, when it affects their close family, that's when something is gonna give. I think.
Mm-hmm. It's the truth. It's the truth. You might not agree, others might not agree, but it's the truth.
No, I definitely think that that's a point, really. Like, if I have the power to stop something, or if what is priority, or what becomes priority to me, is when it directly affects me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's that quote wherein it says that they took certain people away. I didn't care. They affected the young lady. I didn't care. They hurt the black person. I didn't care. But then, no, when they took my kid, that's when it became important. I'm paraphrasing this quote, but I've read it in a sense where it doesn't necessarily matter so much until it directly affects me.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's sad.
True. That is so true. Because you know how many young people got murdered in school?
Mm-hmm.
Over and over. Every year you're hearing, going to the supermarket, there's crime. Where you're just going to pick up food. Going to school, you send your babies to make sure, hey, they're going to get an education or whatever. And at the end of the day, boom. And it happens every year. And guess what? It didn't move these individuals at all to say, yo, we need to put an end to it. Until it hits home, then they'll start to think about it.
For real, man. I don't know what can necessarily be changed, but it's hope, being hopeful, having hope, being strong, and just still trying to find different ways of really solving these issues. Right.
And the problem is, people like that should not be in office. Period. Because you're supposed to care about the people that you're supporting. But when you fail to care about that, why should you be in office?
Right.
All you care about is popularity or the status or whatever. You don't need to be in office.
Of the people, by the people, for the people. Of the people, by the people, for the people.
I'm just waiting. I'm going to go back to politics. I'm just waiting for a matter of time for Giuliani to turn on Trump. Because for him to start admitting, yeah, I lied, this and that, it's the tables are.
What, you lied, Dr. Bryant?
He lied about.
Smoke weed? That's what you lied about?
No, I don't smoke no weed, John. You on your own on that one. You and Roderick on your own on that one. So it's just a matter of time until the tables turn. And guess what? What we all know all along.
I think it's gonna just continue on the same with Trump. But I mean,
Wait. Trump is not paying for his attorney fees no more. So he got to come out of pocket. He's losing his law license left and right. You know, he's admitting that he lied. He knew it was a blatant lie against those females. So, you know, here it is. Just a matter of time.
so if Giuliani's come out and admit regarding, like, would that help push whatever consequences that Trump will get? Would that help with that?
I don't know who was his attorney, so I don't know.
What do you think?
He goes to jail or Trump? Which one you think is gonna go?
What do you think, John? What do you think, John? This is a Trump. What do you think? This is the Trump thing. If Giuliani comes out and, as Joanne was saying, admit that he lies and everything, would that hurt Trump more? Like, would that push the consequence that we want for Trump more?
No, that helps Trump because he said I relied upon my lawyers. They lied to me.
So there you go. There you go. Exactly.
They gave me wrong advice.
So wait, who would go to jail? Giuliani, right?
My lawyers gave me wrong advice.
Exactly, man.
He admitted it too.
Listen, Trump is a powerful tyrant, whatever you want to call him, man. Powerful.
Isaac has my card.
What, John? What do you think? What do you think really is going to happen to Trump? With all this that's happened, do you think he's going to really get the consequences that we all want for him?
What you said now?
What do you think is going to happen to Trump? Do you think he's going to get the consequences that we want him to get?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we're going. I don't think we're going to imprison a president, a former president. That's just the optics look bad for the United States. Unless it's like really agree. Honestly, I can see if that happened. I can see, and if Biden is still president, I can see Biden pardoning Trump.
I don't believe that.
Really?
I don't believe
Really?
that. I do not believe that.
Where Roderick at, man?
I don't believe that. No way.
Roderick is twisting right now.
No way.
Oh man.
I can see that happening.
Nah.
Why you think Biden would do that though?
Because it's the overall. It's bigger than the party. It's bigger than my own personal feelings. This is about the United States of America and how we look to the rest of the world.
But to pardon him though?
He would just pardon him.
Well, they're going hard.
You can't. He would not. A former president would not go to jail.
I mean, I don't believe. But should he to pardon him? Yeah.
I would. I believe he would pardon him if that was the case. Yes.
And if his son is in jail, you think they would still pardon him?
What he said?
If his son is in jail, would he still pardon him?
No, he won't pardon his son, but I would. I'd say the hell with everybody.
I tell you, man. Yeah, but I agree though. I just don't think I'm gonna happen to him. And as you mentioned, John, the optics of it, how he look to everybody else overseas.
Optic. Who cares about the optics?
Well, look at US. US is standing as the powerful one on top of the world, really, right? With our currencies at the top, like all those other things. And if we end up looking more terrible than we are, it's gonna be a lot more difficult, right? BRICS, we have the countries like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa really trying to come together to topple the US dollar. Looking at us now as like we're a weak ones. For them, it's like, yo, US is looking so weak. US gotta really step up, build up the arsenal. So I can see where the optics of it all comes into play. But we are
I
also
apologize for there's something going on, and I'm sorry.
Understandable. We are here in America where we can say, yo, America is doing these terrible things, and we need to be better. The reality is that we are privileged to be able to say these things, right? We can sit here, sit in our comfortable chair, right? Comfortable car, comfortable apartment with a nice background like what Joanne have, right? Privileged to say all those things. People in the other country, they can't
A
really
hater,
say,
okay? Stop being a hater. Good evening, Dexter. Thank you for joining
right?
us this evening. Got
So,
haters everywhere.
Well, I'm cousin Dexter. What's up, cousin Dexter?
thank you for joining
That's
us.
my
So,
cousin. Listen all the way from Guyana.
what's good, bro? So yeah, nothing really. I don't think I'm gonna really happen to Trump, and they're gonna continue doing. Maybe they're just trying to like milk the last bit of rating numbers they can get from him, right? But eventually, it's like, that's that, right? That's pretty much it. By the way, did you all, speaking of the politicians, same way, did you all see what's his name that froze for about a good
Oh man, that's serious, man. That was
yeah.
serious.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with him? You think he had dementia?
Is that what dementia is?
Might be.
It could be slow signs of
He's
that.
81 years old. Might be. He had the
Yeah.
concussion. You know,
Uh-huh.
It's like,
that was some serious stuff.
Yeah, he waited. He couldn't. I thought he was having a stroke.
wow.
I'm serious. I was like, wait a minute. I'm just waiting to see if any physical changes. I was like, ooh.
Right.
So
So I mean, it was just shocking in a sense, and I'm thinking of even the age, right? Being at a certain age, like, when are you going to say, you know what, let me throw in the mantle? Because he wants to keep going, right? And this is what I look at too when I look at Biden as well. I'm like, my man,
so you don't think he should run again? That's what
I've said that from day one, really.
So
right?
you think Kamala should take over?
Oh hell no!
Yeah. Nah.
Your cousin
You know what? I'm just disappointed in Kamala
Kamala.
Harris, and the reason I'm disappointed is I think she should push
Wait, say that again?
Biden's administration harder to let her be out front on a lot of
Yes.
issues.
Yes, I agree. I barely
I
see
think
her.
she needs to be forceful and just getting out there.
I
Well,
agree.
she spoke last week about the textbooks. She was, that was the first time I heard her in a while.
Yeah, but that was the testing. But he put her in charge of the border, and ain't nothing come to fruition about the border issue.
Yeah.
That would have been a great issue for her to deal with.
Yeah.
So what was he expecting her to do about the border? Let's be for real.
What is expected to do about the borders? I go down there to the border, see what's going on, work with the other countries. Then I would work with all the states where all these migrants are going. Let's make sure there's something, let's make sure there's a process created for them.
Monet said,
Why, Monet? Why?
He should run again. Why, Monet? Why you don't think he should run? And thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Why you don't think he should run?
Audience, drop your reasons why you think he shouldn't run again. Right. But I definitely agree regarding the Kamala situation. I don't see her a great deal in the front, or even like just being present as much as I expected or wanted her to be.
That's
it's as if
part of politicians, like I mentioned and I spoke to you about. They
Yeah.
promise and they say all these things. Oh, we're gonna give you the world, and at the end, it's like no.
right. Straight to the point, Money. Right. Biden, old, retire, enjoy some time. But who do we have? Who do we have? That's the other thing. That's the other question. Who do we have? All right. But yes, like Biden put her as vice president, and that was it. I'm just gonna cater to the people who want to see Kamala in office, and then that's that. All right. Definitely think that she should have or could be more out there. All right.
Well,
Monet went to the point though. He's too old.
well, he's too old. So
Yes.
who would represent him on the Democrat part.
That's what,
You
that's what
have
that was what I was asking too.
the JFK guy who else?
Conspiracy.
Yeah. So
Uh,
here it is. You have her, Kamala. You have the JFK guy. Who else?
John F. Kennedy Jr. Let's see who else we
Now
have.
I'll give Biden this. He fought hard for student loans. A couple other things he
True.
had fought for. He gave a monument to Emmett Till. He's done some things. She said, "John, you should run."
Oh, hell no.
Why? Why, John? Why? Why,
I
man?
like the business side.
Is that which party is the business side? I'm just
No, I like the business side. I think both of them both of them are business sides, man.
right.
But who
Well,
would
yeah.
be a good replacement for real? Who would be a
For
good
who?
for Biden
Biden.
if you guys think he's too old to run? You gotta think about that. We don't have too many.
And is it the hope or the lack of belief in the system more that we don't have much people to run?
That could stand out.
Right.
The gentleman from Maryland is too young. Like he just got the position.
Yeah, I think he just got in. I just think
Yeah. So he John, this for you. He's the best.
who's the best?
You.
Monet is saying you're the best.
Thanks, Mo.
So
That-
he.
that is so.
So who would you think of? What politician?
You got Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan.
Who?
Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan.
Gretchen.
Yeah.
We have
Couple
limited
of governors.
like who? Let's think about it.
Or Gretchen Whitmer.
But we have a very slim pool. That's the problem.
There really isn't anyone per se. So I think it just we gotta build up some hope. I don't know.
You got the governor from Seattle.
Who?
You got the governor of Wisconsin.
What if they don't want to run? Right? They might not even want to run. Probably see how challenging the work itself may be too. It's even to be president, it's a challenging work.
Yeah, but there's no front runner. No other front runner that's out there. In the Democratic Party. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't see much. I definitely don't see much. You have a slew of Republicans, and they're coming to really do under the
Cornel West is doing independent. I don't think he's gonna win.
What I think may happen is that it'll be similar.
Come on, you guys are looking too deep. We gotta keep it real.
Monet says John already. That's it. All right. We'll probably just have to move forward. So we did talk about the situation. What with his oh my goodness, the politician that paused for a few seconds.
The minority leader.
Yeah, right. And then so him at his age and time to really kind of like put down the mantle. Look at LeBron James' son, right? He was Bronny James, man, who was in ICU for cardiac arrest.
He came today, thank God. And thank God that his trainers were on top of things. Similar to the other young athletes a couple months back. So shout out to the trainers, to the physical therapists. They're on it. They're doing it. They're staying lively. And to be honest, they don't get enough credit. They don't. And what it shows is it doesn't matter what age. You know, we used to say, hey, kids who are sitting around, not doing working out or not doing things, they actually are at risk of
Right.
having cardiac arrest. But here it is, you have two athletes who are very physical, very, you know, competitive. They're doing things. And they're having cardiac arrest. Now, this evening, I was at the pool and I had a great conversation with the 68-year-old gentleman who mentioned to me that he had blockage in his heart. But that occurred because he had took a
Hmm.
COVID number 4 test, shot,
Took what?
the shot number 4. You know, you went to 1, 2, 3, 4. The last shot, he did tell me the name. It starts for O. I can't remember it right now. And he said once he took that, you know, he started to feel a little awkward. So when he finally got to the place, you know, he noticed that something wasn't right. He noticed that a lot of the people who were elderly had the same issue once they took shot number 4, with heart issues. So he had just had heart surgery,
Hmm.
and he's doing better. 90 days from his heart surgery as of today. But there's a kind of a linkage to that. More research needs to be done, but just very interesting.
We had Jamie Foxx also. I don't, Jamie Foxx came out on the video say we went to hell and back while he was in the hospital, but I didn't see anything that asserted what exactly he was experiencing.
Mhm.
Um, but even, you know, when we think about the health of people, even when you know you work out, you're eating right, those things, you're still you're still at the mercy of anything that could happen. And so, you know,
Another,
important.
yeah,
But I would say it's better to really aim to live a healthy life, right? I mean, we talk about that a lot on the village. Try to live a healthy life, eat right. We know we have those balance days, those days where you wanna do quote unquote cheat days and everything. But you know, moderation, but still aim for that. Because in the end, really, we're all gonna go, but we will also want to try work towards staying
our
here
best.
as much as we can, right? As long as we can with our loved ones. Um, Sophia said, "I know someone who had a heart attack the day after they got their second shot. Was it was it a result of the shot?" Um,
The gentleman who I spoke to, all of the people took the shot number 4, and they're older, elderly, a little older. They had the same issues. So that's interesting.
well, I mean,
We
as
never know what impact we're going to have years later, down later. Another trend that's I'm noticing more and more.
wait. Before that, but I'm saying even with the COVID thing itself, like because there's people who face the issues after the shot, but then
Mm,
no, like data, I would say some data even backing that up too is as a support because like I know people who have had something happen to them after they take their shots too and all that, but maybe those are just the people who I know, maybe like 3 people, but then now overall data shows something different. So I mean, we all have somebody, right? We all notice these things, and so it's just about working towards trying to be healthy and doing what you got to do. Take care of yourself. All right. What were you saying about the trend?
I forgot.
Well,
Oh, yeah, I just remember another trend is blood clots. Um, you
oh,
know, people need to just blood clots in general. You're seeing more and more people, individuals having developing blood clots,
mhm,
circulating. There's the artist. I had a family member who passed away uh,
condolences.
last week, and then someone else who actually the whole. So we just have to be aware of our bodies, and if you don't feel well, please, please get it checked out. And that's why I get on Roderick's case. If you do not feel well, please go get it checked out.
Go get checked out. Go and get checked out, folks. All right. See your
Yeah.
doctor daily. All right. Make sure you see your doctor daily. Just going back a little real quick. Monet, you mentioned about we need some new names and history books. I don't remember what that was in reference to, but a
You,
book
you were
but a,
looking for politicians.
oh, got you. Well, a history book that I've read, and then need the second volume still. World's Great Men of Color, by what's his name? Oh shoot, something Rogers. His name is slipping. But World's Great Men of Color. You can check that out itself. It's a pretty good book. Really highlights some people in history who have done great things throughout their lives. Right, going way back even before 1500. So that's a book you can check out. Um, okay, so let's see now. Man convicted. Go ahead. What you
I
got?
I was mentioning the kudos to Biden's in regards to creating a national monument honoring Emmett Till, the black teenagers whose 1955 murder was a catalyst for the civil rights movement. And not only did he honor him, but he also honored the mom who was brave, who wanted people to see what they did his to her son. Um, she fought um, a lot after her son got murdered. And the sad thing is, I think the woman died last year, right, Andre? Um,
Think
that
so.
she lied, 14 years old. So the monument location will be a site in Chicago, the city where Emmett was born, and two sites in Mississippi, where the 14-year-old traveled during the fateful 1955 summer to spend time with his cousin. So he was murdered, and if people don't know, Mississippi in August 1955 after being accused of making improper advances towards a white woman, Caroline Bryant Donham. So Till murdered um, in
Mhm.
Mississippi helped spark the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s. So Biden made the announcement on what would be
You mean
Till's,
Emmett Till?
yes, 82nd birthday. So the
What are they
president,
what are they doing to make sure that something like this don't happen again than just a monument?
but wait. I want to say this.
Right.
What I give kudos to him is, in spite of you have ignorant governors trying to eliminate and rewrite history, he's acknowledging history. Even though it was traumatic, just making people aware that hey, acknowledge this, and we're going to talk about it, and it's going to be here as a monument. You know, to say, hey, you know what, this is history because it was done.
Who's gonna talk about it?
What happened? Who's going to talk about it? The monument stands for discussion.
What I'm saying is okay. So, and nothing against him doing it. What I'm saying is that me and you, this is something important to us, right? We may go there and we're gonna highlight, we're gonna have the discussion. But what about the folks who don't even care about it? They're gonna just look at it, pass by, and that's that. So that's what I'm saying. Who's gonna talk about it, right? Because the people who we want to have a better perspective, right? They are the ones who we want them to have a different perspective when it comes to race, right, and social issues. How do we get them to have those things? And is having like a monument, a statue, going to impact them, or is it going to really speak to the people who that is more important to? You know what I'm saying,
I think,
John?
Andre, I think it's more of a level of discussion that exists. They
Hmm.
see it, have a conversation about it, and basically that's what it comes down to. Having a discussion about the impact of his death upon race relations back in the 50s leading up to the civil rights movement and the impact that it would have today. It's
I agree.
it's
I agree. I'm saying, who's going to be more likely to have the conversation about that?
I think what more likely is just you know what? Take for example, it's like us tonight. We're
Hmm.
talking about it. It's just people around kitchen tables talking about the impact of something like
Mm.
us talking in the classrooms, having our kids asking their teachers about this incident and the impact it has. It is
That
all. It's like it's just it's just like a campaign, man. A
but
campaign in which you want to talk about ideas and issues. And when we talk about race relations, then we can talk about the impact of Emmett Till and his death, what his death had on the civil rights, the implementation of the civil rights movement.
So that right there, I would say is valid. Where you mentioned about around the dinner table or in the classroom, right? So making it wherein, okay, this is part of the curriculum. Teachers
Mhm.
got to make sure that they highlight these things in their classroom. Now, you might have a kid who's coming from a family background who don't care about these topics, but that teacher bring it up in the classroom, right? In the class activities, and now that kid is now required to engage with that topic, right? Where now there's a conversation, but I'm looking at it from the angles like, if that kid is out with mom or dad or whoever they're with, and they don't really care about the topic, they might just pass by it, see it like, oh, interesting statue, who cares, and they go about their business. Whereas if it's in a space wherein, okay, we gotta converse about this, that's what I'm pointing to. That's what I was really saying. How do we get that itself to go even beyond just being about awareness? And now, okay, let's do the work to get this. I think it's just so sad that the the lady who lied about him, um, catcalling, and she didn't get any consequence. This lady lived her life all
But remember the
nicely.
time. Remember the time.
I know.
1950s and 1960s is not too long ago. But
She just,
unfortunately, the
she just,
racism
she
that
just,
exists is
she
real.
just,
He just died.
but she just died. You will say, oh, she old.
Mississippi was very racist.
I know, but I'm
Wasn't
saying she's so old and said, no, we're not gonna give her no consequence and all that. I'm pretty sure there's other people out there, and they're gonna give them consequences for certain things that is just like, yo, it was years back too when they get them consequences. I'm just saying, like, so that's something that always bothersome too. Why couldn't she get some sort of consequence? She's too old, okay. uh, so that's a wonder to me. But
that's the way he's trying to
RIP.
combat some of what the census is trying to put in place in Florida. But I feel as though half of these governors are totally disrespectful to the president. You know, here it is. They would have never done that to
Hmm.
Trump. I know that Cuomo used to go back and forth with Trump,
Hmm.
but the way that hey, even as far as the Justice Department stating to Texas, hey, what you're doing in regards to the migrant, they're drowning and you're letting them drown or whatever, and you're blocking them from coming in where they actually, and you're doing some cruel things, and they totally disregard. In regards to Alabama doing the same thing, they're saying no, they're not going to change their, they're just blatantly defiant, like, yo, I'm gonna do what I want to do or whatever. How do we have these idiots in power? Why do people vote on idiots like that to continue to lead your state?
The birds of a feather flock together. Right.
I'm
So
surprised that there's no consequence. That's the reason why they act the way they do, because there's no consequence.
will
And
be.
if there really was, then
Mhm.
I wonder if they would really act like that. Absolutely not.
True. If the consequence of the crime, there's really a logical consequence, valid consequence. You wouldn't act that way. So you can agree. You see in politics time and time again. So there we go with that. All right, there's
And
that.
and you know what? What I was thinking of, this mother fight for civil rights. Um, her fight against the murder of her child caused out, changes to people to just getting paid. Similar to 2020.
Wait, say that again.
Similar to 2020 when the gentleman got murdered by the police.
Mm-hmm.
It became a whole world news. Now, I wish people put as much energy in regards to gun violence as they do as well, because there's a lot of people dying and getting murdered senselessly. We need to turn that into a movement as well.
Sorry, what do you know what the No Labels Party is?
Yeah, one of the No Labels Party. I think that was former senator from Connecticut, and no, um, excuse me, uh, Senator Joe Manchin,
Mm-hmm.
and also senator from where's Mitt Romney, a senator at
The
Chair Joe
national movement,
Lieberman.
Utah, John Huntsman, and the guy from West Virginia.
Yes, and the wrong one, my friend.
Lieberman.
Joe Manchin, Huntsman and Manchin,
Joe
with the help from the former senator from Connecticut, are just talking about a No Labels Party, a party that's basically not affiliated with any party, but are just concerned about the basic issues that impact the citizenry in the United States of America. Sort of like an independent party, but no party at all. Basically, people are just voting based upon the issues.
So I mean, so they're a party that's not a party. Like, is that what it? That
There's a party with no label. They don't want to be labeled a Democrat or Republican or independent. They want to be a party that's known. Their concerns are about the issues that impact everyday American citizens.
okay? So, I feel like it's as if it wants to sound like a paradox, like a contradiction of the sort.
Like a what?
Like a contradiction in the sense of No Labels Party. That's your party name now. No Labels, but we're gonna fight. So hey, go and vote for No Labels. Like something like that. That's what I'm saying. It's like wanting to join a team but don't want to have a team name where people can identify you as, right? Like that's what I'm I get it though. I get it. Like right here, I'm looking at this Google search real quick. Chair Joe Lieberman says No Labels plan to get presidential ballot access in the fifth. In the 50 is not a stealth plan to help Trump, as critics say. That's their name. No Labels. That's the party's name, because that's what people are referring to them as. You know? Oh man.
So of No Label is Nancy Jacobson.
Who?
Nancy Jacobson.
Well, is that the person who's running the party?
Mm-hmm. She's the CEO. They form a 501c, headquarters in DC. Nancy Jacobson. It was started December 13th, 2010. Their public launch. No Label.
So what was the independent party about when they just came on the scene? What was their thing? And John?
We said,
What was the independent party's aim when they just came on the scene? What were they saying?
I'm the alternative to the Democratic and Republican Party. I'm independent and we vote based on the issues, which pretty much is to say that the No Labels Party.
Right. So I'm like, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's really
Yeah,
trying to bring a new part that's not like the others. Because I think people are looking at Democrat and Republican as just like it's too they're not representative of the population of people who want to really vote for what's really important to them. Then the independent says, "Yo, we're gonna be that party," right? But the independent is not even on the scene when we have the high stakes debates, right? So now No Label says, "Yeah, I'm gonna come through." I think as they're trying to even do something like that in Jamaica, right? But I already know only JLP and PNP. So there's that right there. So Sophie, I hope that helps out the viewer. All right, we just highlight the No Labels Party. I don't know if they had another question, but sure, you can put a question here or have them comment. All right. So there's that right there. We also had mentioned about the lady, the meteorologist.
yeah, that.
So RIP, RIP to her. I didn't know much
So,
about.
also want to give a shout out to Carrie Edwards. His brother-in-law passed away this week.
Oh man,
Gavin Clowder.
condolences, RIP, man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
a lot of that's
Lynch was the bomb. I used to watch her every morning on Channel 2.
What's her name again?
Elise Flinch.
Elise Flinch.
Yeah.
A lot of people were really like sad and surprised by it all. So,
But she was on air on Friday, and then to hear Sunday evening that she was dead. Like, what? Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. So I was like, no, this lady looked familiar. When one of my friends posted on Facebook, I was like, no, why does this lady look familiar? And then I looked on, I was like, wow. So, every day that you're alive and every moment counts, because at any given time, you don't know. So don't take life for granted. That is for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, definitely someone who will be missed with her personality and um, yeah, she brought a different dynamics. There's not too many black meteorologists and black female meteorologists.
right.
So that's something that is special, and someone who fights for black folks all around. So
Right.
meteorology is not easy. That's something that I study as my science in college. But she really brought a different flavor to it. I wanted to see the black sister on air in the morning. So my little bias. And yeah, so that's that.
Okay. We'll pivot real quick.
Mhm.
This commercial itself. Definitely, I saw you post something regarding Puerto Rican bank suing New York Fed. So you probably suing New York Fed for suspending account in Venezuela linked crackdown. So you posted something regarding that.
Okay.
Wanna highlight that when we come back?
No.
John, you know anything regarding that?
I do not want to highlight that, but it's okay. I definitely want to talk about the crane,
All right.
crane fires, and also for them to look at
That
the
was
scaffold.
dangerous.
All right, so let's get back to it after this then.
Not a problem.
All right, folks. So we got the Grace Family Adult Social Daycare. All right, where the elderly can get free meals, breakfast, lunch, beverages. You got special events, barbecues, field trips, dancing, live DJs, birthdays and anniversaries, and the activities that they have is billiards, table tennis, dominoes, bingo, cards, board games, arts and crafts, salon services for ladies and gents, all that good stuff. All right. We ensure a healthy and happy life for the elderly. You can register now online. If you go to gracefamilycare.com, you can email them at gracefamilyadult@gmail.com. And the numbers you can call is 347-770-8446 or 347-770-8447 or 646-504-5778. Right. This is also at 1330 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11203. All right. Medicaid accepted and call for an appointment. Free transportation. So Grace Family Adult Social Daycare. Register at gracefamilycare.com. All right. So let's talk about the crane. What's happening with the crane?
Man.
There's 12 hurt when the crane arm catches fire, collapses onto New York City street during morning commute. Is that
it happened? Yeah.
Went up in flames Wednesday morning high above Manhattan, then partially collapsed onto the street, and the fire broke out shortly before 7:30 a.m. It's 45 stories up in the air at a building that was under construction on 10th Avenue between West 41st and 42nd Street in Hell's Kitchen. And they're always doing construction. The preliminary cause of the fire is hydraulic fluid that leaked onto a hot plate near the engine of the crane. At this point, the incident appears accidental. There's no suspected criminality. The Department of Buildings, who is the lead agency, has its engineers working to officially determine the cause. That's all they said the cause. Officials says permits and inspections were all up to date.
You know what? These people are lucky. Are lucky that no one died. 12 people did get injured, but lucky, you're walking down the street. You're not going to be looking up to say, hey. And the people who were in the hotel, the crane cracking through and breaking their windows or whatever. So people in the hotel, they were lucky
Right.
that they didn't die while sleeping. The lady said she jumped out her sleep or whatever. She grabbed her passport, ran out with her clothes backwards on her or whatever. But it's thank God it could have been worse. Injuries could heal. Certain injuries could heal. But these folks were just lucky because the cement came down. Even the workers thought it was going to be the end for them. So
Right.
that is very scary. So shout out to the construction workers out there, because what you do is not easy, especially in the heat. In the cold, you're out there doing it. So yes, New York City want all these amazing, tall, gigantic buildings, but there are major risks that comes along with that.
Right.
In addition, I am so happy that the mayor is cracking down on these scaffolds that's been around for years and years and years, and the construction never ended. Some of these scaffolds been around before the pandemic and still around, haven't been changed or whatever. So that's dangerous in itself, because when you have scaffolds for a certain amount of time, it could fall. You can have injuries. It become an area where people can hide out or whatever, and the building is getting worse and worse. It was only supposed to be there for a certain period of time,
Right.
so that work could be done. But many times you have building owners that will allow it to go for years. So they can't say that something that was put in 2018,
Right.
right now we're in 2023, that you're still working on the same project. You're just milking it.
Right.
And it needs to come to an end. So take it down. Take the crap down so people can see it's dangerous enough. We need to see who's around us at all times. So I am so happy that they're going to start giving tickets. They're monitoring this, because safety first.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I feel like there's always construction happening too, right?
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's always just someone like, why is there's always construction? Sometimes I'm like, I could ask this person, why is there construction? One more time, I just want to get out of the construction zone, right? Like, And if you
They can
really,
milk it. They can milk it as much as they can. And who's paying for it?
I don't know. I
As
feel
the
like I need to really definitely dive in a little bit into that just to see what's going on. But it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. The other day we had a lot of rain. A lot of rain the other day. I was driving on what, Sunrise, I believe. It was
Mhm.
flooding crazy, right? But
Uh-huh.
this has people, I guess, in a sense, is a prelude of climate change. Thunderstorm batters Bensonhurst with high winds, a lot of rain. But it was all over.
Yeah, flooding. And the last couple of months, we've been having some severe temperature change, like the flood in Vermont, where everything looked like a river,
Yeah, that too.
to Albany, to here, to upstate. When it rains now, it's not just a little bit of rain. It's massive rain. The When was it? It was on Tuesday. It's downpour is beyond downpour that you're nervous. Thunder and lightning, yes, but
Right.
it's to the point now it's raining and you're worried about everywhere's flooded. Everywhere's flooded. The trees, 85 trees came down in
Yeah.
Bensonhurst.
Yeah.
That is scary. Thank God, again, nobody died. Somebody did get injured,
Mm,
but 85 trees. Imagine you're walking around. And here's the thing, I'm going to mention this. One of my friends is going to be upset. When they mention thunderstorm, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you have outdoor sports, that means cut the crap out. Put it to the side. Don't put kids at risk because, oh, the rain's going to go away. That is negligence. Yes, oh, the rain will go away. It won't. No. In Jersey, some people got lightning. They got electrocuted. So please, 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 this is the second or third time during this year, not a 2 or 3 month span, that people are getting electrocuted when the thunderstorm is going. Don't take it lightly. Yeah, go away. Don't brush it off because this temperature and this climate change and everything happening is serious. And if I was looking this evening,
right.
two teenagers went to the beach to go swimming in Coney Island. One, they were able to.
Well, no, I didn't see that one. Who's that? Amen, Dr. Brian. Negligence. What's up, Curry?
So one of the kids got saved, rescued, but the other they're still looking for this evening.
So I see Monet put we're living in different times, and I
Yeah,
can
that's
I can agree too. Sometimes, is it a, would think about ask this question, the cycle of the earth, right?
true.
So earth been around longer than we have, way longer and everything. Could this be like a cycle wherein, okay, it's back to a point wherein the rains are gonna come crazy? It seems like it's climate change. That's on the one hand, whereas for people who are about um uh the church and God, religion, Christianity and all so forth, is really about, hey, the Lord is returning. So I think I'm looking at it from the both angles, but you never know, because one of the scriptures talk about you return like a thief in the night.
Always be prepared because you don't know when you're gonna pass away. You don't know any of the things. So the you never
Just
know.
aim to live today as if it's your last. Right? Live as if it's your last. Try work and accomplish your goals. Try to do what you can. Spend time with the people that you love. Work towards improving yourself. Working towards building a community. All those things, because when you leave, you want to leave a legacy. All right, you want to leave
Say that
something.
again. Say that again.
When you
No.
leave, you want to leave a legacy, right?
Mhm.
You want to leave something behind, where in a sense, leave the world better than how you came into it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So do what you must. Spend the time with the people that you love. Spend the time with family. um and just make moves, make the necessary moves, right? I wanted to inquire about your thoughts on AI, and this is kind of like even looking at the market to like, what have you thought about the AI, artificial intelligence?
The strike.
Not the strike. Well, Netflix did post something that was, I think it was a misunderstanding itself. You Is that what you're referring to with the
No, I'm
90?
talking about the actor strike.
Oh, what
The
do you what
actor
do you,
strike.
what do you think
You know,
about that?
they're
I'll go back
striking
to AI in a
because
little
it
bit.
is they want to increase.
Hmm.
That's one, but also with AI, they're using their bodies, their voice, and everything, and they're creating movies, but they're not getting the revenue. So if you're going to create somebody to say that it's Joanne that's acting and is not, and is a computer that's actually acting on my behalf, and people think it's me, I should get paid for it.
Um,
It becomes very, it's a thin line. In addition, one of their fight is everything is increasing. Things
everything
that
as in what?
everything is increasing. Going to the
Like
movies,
like
whatever.
oh, like so the
Yeah. One mentioned,
purchasing of stuff.
I remember the president that's fighting. She mentioned that, there's no more videos and like VH places that you can go and borrow a video and they'll get revenues off of that. Or mainly it's Netflix and others, but they're not getting the revenues from that. So yeah, so before, back in the days, before your days, Andre, you know, we go to the movies and we go and what is that place? I can't, videotapes and all that. You want to check it out and
Right.
you want to watch a movie. You might have even the DVDs to play the movie. They're not even doing that anymore. The DVDs. You don't even see
That,
DVDs, CDs.
those obsolete. That's those obsolete. And
The
that's what
thing.
that's what
So
I want to really even like highlight to with technology. It's advancing. So even the younger people now, they are well, not they're not tasked with, but it's imperative that the young people who are in school right now learn how to learn about AI itself, or just uh apt apt and understand how technology itself is going to be working,
it's
because
good
your
and
job,
it's
yeah,
good. Yeah.
your job now, it depends on the service jobs possibly, right? The AI is likely going to be handling that. I mean, we already have self checkout. That's a big one itself, really. Right? You go to the supermarket, you see like about six
Mhm.
self checkouts at a particular supermarket. If you go to Walmart, you're like what 10 on one side and 10 on the other side. That's
Mhm.
20. That's 20 cashiers right there. Now you only have one cashier or two that's just guarding
That's true. That's
guarding
true.
those places. So they definitely the direction that I've been seeing people
Robots are taking over.
people encourage people
What?
encouraging young people to go towards is the tech field. Now you have to also be mindful if you go towards tech field. It's definitely somewhat risky in a sense, because when you think about the where we are right now economically, you got a recession. A lot of people feel
Mhm.
like recession is looming, and they got the layoffs. Is always like companies like the tech companies that doing the layoffs right away. You gotta get paid, so
Yeah.
you have to be
Yeah.
mindful about those things. But AI itself is has hit us as a storm, right? Since back like last December, from October, and it's still going. It's still going right now. So, just
You
be
can be
mindful.
replaced by a robot. They used to have shows about that, robots taking over, whatever, but day
It's
in
coming
and day
closer.
out, it's happening.
It's
So
coming
guess what? You
closer.
got to keep current on what
You know,
it is.
you know.
Constantly, yeah. You got to
I have
keep current, thinking that, hey, a high school diploma is just going to land you anywhere. And even a college diploma don't mean anything. but it's what can you offer? What
Yeah.
makes you stand out?
And be
What would-
versatile. Be versatile. One of the quotes, two things I want to say. There's a quote that I say, a jack of all trades is a master of none. Well, a lot of people don't know the second part,
what's
right?
the second part?
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but still better than a master of one. You know what I'm saying? So I would say it's good that you know one thing and you know it to the best, right? But also valuable to know other things as well, right? Because now you're able to like you're versatile, right? You're not just um you're not just stuck to
Your one thing.
one thing. You're good at it, you're great at it rather, but you're able to also dabble into multiple other
Mhm.
things. I think that's
Yeah.
important
Keep
part.
educating yourself.
Right.
Education is key. Education is something they can't take away from you.
Yeah. And you
So
got
keep
YouTube.
learning.
YouTube University. Go to that. I learned. You see this right here? I didn't go to school for figuring out how to do art and stuff really, right? Using Photoshop, all those things, video editing, all those things really. The second thing I wanted to say though is that I have one of the iRobots, the one that just clean up the
How do
area.
you like that? How do you like that?
It's good. I mean, I still sweep out
Yeah, but I
sometimes.
don't trust it. I'm always thinking that many of these things, these gadgets, are recording, constantly recording you. Like,
Your
I'm
phone,
serious.
your phone recording you. We on
Yes,
something
the
that's
phone
recording us right now.
records. Yes, but the thing is, I'm a little leery. You call, these technology to turn on your light, to do this, to do that, and then some of them they're videotaping, constantly they're videotaping or whatever. But you just got to be careful. That's all.
You are the product right now. I'm gonna tell you that, right? So if you have like Facebook, if you have Facebook on your phone, it's collecting data constantly, right? You are the product because then that data allows them to say, okay, then the algorithm rather to feed you what you're interested in. So it's already recording what you're doing, right? Like us now on this right here, whatever conversations that we're having, depend on the settings in our browsers. It already pick up some of the audio. Next thing you know, you go to a different tab and you see the little ad on the side, and it's like, wait a minute,
Yeah, I
how did
don't
this
like
know?
that.
So it's already happening. And I
Just
think,
be more aware of it.
yeah, just be more aware of it. There
Like,
was
you don't want another clone of Andre or Joanne, and that's the fight that they're having. If
wait,
you're gonna
hold up.
clone me, if
There
you're
was
gonna clone me, pay me for the
wait,
clone that you're doing. The artists, the
wait there.
the, the actors, they don't want somebody being, they don't want themselves being cloned and not getting paid for it.
Hold up. There's a clone of us already. Oh man, I know. I'm kidding. All right, so
Gentlemen, no wonder you and your cousins are related.
oh man, this is me, different vibe here, man. It's different vibe, right? So, but all in all, still though, being aware of what what you engage with, right? You got your phone, you got your computer. It's what it is right now, and the thing is that there's study come out regarding how people are with technology. And of course, I mean it's obvious. The younger people are more likely to be just diving into this, like they're just in it, right? The older you are, you're more kind of sus about it all. I mean, we didn't grow up with it like that. So even for me, right, I'm into technology heavily, but at the same time, to see like a 3 year old or 4 year old with an iPad,
Yeah.
that's just like what? I didn't get my first phone until I was 13, and it was one of those Motorola peanut phone, Hello Moto. Like what? You couldn't do nothing. You could I just call, text. I had them little old time games. So it's definitely a time. And going back to what I think, what's her name, Monet said, right?
Mhm.
Living in different times.
Yeah, the
Living
kids
in
could
different
do
times.
what the kids could do more than what we could do back then. I remember before the pandemic, I had to type all, my daughter would write her report and she'd be like, Mommy, I don't, can you type my papers? And here it is, I'm typing papers. And then the pandemic happened.
Mhm.
The shift. I'm not typing nothing. You type your own thing and keep it moving. It forced you into change. And that's okay. There's some good things that came out, creativity, new advancement thinking, new way of teaching, new way of learning, new way of doing things. The best creativity came out of tragedy, came out of crisis, came out of things. So as we move forward and we're looking and watching all these weather change and climate change, use that as an opportunity to create something, to learn something, to do something, and to prepare. That's it.
As I said, YouTube University. So do you have any last things you wanna, shout out? Anything of the sort?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. Just want you to remember, take some time out to spend time with your family, friends, learn something new. Don't take life for
Seem like John frozen.
granted.
Oh,
Roderick, feel better, my friend. Miss night. So that's it. Did you hear me or did I break up?
You kind of break up a little. If you want to
Did you
say
hear
a
me?
few more.
I said coming out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
You're good now.
Thank you for joining us. Peace, love. Enjoy this wonderful 90-degree weather. Go out, celebrate yourself, your family, your friends. And as you're doing that, appreciate each other and learn something and create memories. I don't know. I keep freezing.
No, but you're good. You were good. You were good this time, right? So definitely,
feel better. We miss you. We love you. And next week, I guess we're gonna have your big mouth back again.
Of course. Right.
Andre, any lasting words?
Just like I said, really, it's a village. Remember that there's something greater than you out there, and so that's what you should be working towards. Building. Build yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Success is just not spoken; it is done. So think about what you're doing. And be reflective. Think and then apply. So take care, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Village Radio Talk Show. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Love. Bye.
Okay.